Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Lakers Lens podcast, episode 9. Folks, we got a very special guest with us today. Max is actually moving some stuff around. He's taking care of some managerial tasks. So we have a great friend with us today. His name's Tyler Tackaberry, huge Lakers fan. He's got the Lakers poster in the background. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Tyler?
Thank you, Matt. My name's Tyler. Longtime friend of Matt and Max. Go back to watching Lakers when what was that? When Kobe's last season, what were we, 17-65? Just a horrendous record.
Yeah.
And man, I feel like I watched every single game that season, obviously for Kobe, but it's just like every season, it's like, what's on tonight? Tuesday night? Okay, we're watching the Lakers, and so grew up used to saying like la-las to my dad, and here we are now, still representing the team.
I still remember the Kobe's last game in your apartment.
Oh yeah, that was nuts.
That was insane. I just like the expectation. I think Shaq said he was like gonna have 50, and no one believed him. He just walks out there and gets 60. Like, just mind-blowing performance.
Dude, a cool memory from that night is that we had so many friends at our school that were Warriors fans, and that same night was the night that the Warriors were 73-9. But on ESPN was Kobe's last game, and on ESPN2 was the Warriors. I felt so stoked to rub that in their faces. Yeah,
just way more important.
Yeah, exactly.
How many Lakers games do you think you've been to?
Like 6, maybe 7. It's always kind of hard to get to them, especially the weekday ones. Yeah. Like 7:30 driving from San Diego to LA.
Yeah. I'm probably in that same boat. But always a good time at Staples.
Fun.
But so let's I kind of explained to you how we do the show, but I think it's kind of cool that you like don't really know too, so we can get like your raw reactions. But Max and I do like predictions for the week ahead, so we were wrong this week. We predicted 2-1, the loss coming to the Nets, and then we predicted Lakers would beat Timberwolves, which they did, and then they would beat the Heat, which they lost. So in reality, it was 1-2. That's our first inaccurate prediction, actually, which is kind of cool. But let's go over the first game of the week. Tuesday, February 16th, Lakers 112, Timberwolves 104. And I put up a Instagram thing on our page saying we were looking for Kuzma to step up and Schroeder to step up. But let me just run some stats by you. LeBron 30, of course, no AD. We got to mention that. LeBron 30, 13-7. Kuzma only 7-4. Gasol 11-5. Schroeder 24-3, so he stepped up big. KCP 7, Wesley Matthews 3, and I make it very clear that I don't like Wesley Matthews on this podcast. And then Montrez poured in 17-6 on the Timberwolves side. Anthony Edwards 28.
A rookie? That's nice.
Yeah, really nice. Karl Anthony Towns 15. Rubio 13 is kind of spread out the rest of the board. Of course, no deloading, no D'Angelo Russell, so could have been a different game. But what do you make of that game? Like, anything stick out to you in that first game?
One of those games where, you always hear Stu and Marv. They're always saying no new heroes, and everybody wants to have their best game against not only the defending champs but against the Lakers. And I don't remember that guy's name. That guy had probably 15, 16, just kept the team in the game. Obviously, they don't have LeBron where he can't close a game out at the end of the game. But it's a team where we should take care of. They're the worst record in the West, and it shouldn't be what other teams do who are good is close out in the second quarter so LeBron can sit. Not LeBron play the whole 12th quarter, the whole fourth quarter He had a great fourth quarter, but do we want to win a championship with him, or do we want to win a regular season game against the Wolves? We got to close them out, and you got Kuzma on there with 7 points. You got to score more. You have to score more.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the preview Max and I did was, especially with AD out, we're looking for Kuzma to just this should be a game where he just has at least 20.
Yeah.
And then LeBron should not be playing 38, almost 40 minutes in a game against the Timberwolves. Like you said, worst record. I think maybe it's the whole worst record in the league.
I think they're tied here with the Wizards tonight.
Yeah. But there is that factor that you brought up where it's like the games that we consider to be like off nights or like against bad teams, they come with their best,
Right.
Like they are coming, they're gunning for us. So it just makes it awkward because they're trying their hardest and we're like, maybe we can take a night off before we play the Nets,
Mm-hmm.
But that's just obviously not the case. And it turns into what you said, basically just LeBron carrying at the end of the game and then getting those extra 6-7 minutes.
Yeah. I was just listening to an interview with Tyronn Lue when he was the coach of the Cavs, and someone was interviewing him, and he said that all we want is, they asked, does LeBron play too much? And his answer was yeah, but I have to play him. Yeah. It's if someone's thinking about it then, 6 years later, he shouldn't be playing now.
It's just it's an interesting concept, and we'll definitely get to it when we hit the Nets. But
right, when you
use the term firepower, raw scoring, or just making things happen, especially without AD, we're kind of lacking in that regard. And of course, turnovers are another big issue. Max has a big problem with turnovers. We had 18 turnovers, which is pretty damn high. Yeah. Free throws are another issue. That wasn't so bad. It was 81%, which is all right, pretty good, but I don't know. And other than that, we got the win. Win's a win, but we want to see those kind of games. I think that first Nuggets game where we just kind of blew them out, and our stars don't have to play in the last 6-7 minutes. But yeah, let's move on to the Nets game. Oh,
I turned that off. I turned it off.
Yeah,
I couldn't watch it. It was bad. We're down by 20.
Yeah, highly anticipated game. Of course, no AD, but also no Durant. Who knows how much worse it could have been with him on the court.
Oh, man.
But final score, Nets 109, Lakers 98, which is 11 points, makes it seem close, but it was never close. I think they made, how many threes did they make, dude? They made 18 threes.
Oh, my gosh. That's how you win. That's a win right there.
Of. And that's firepower right there. So it seems like everyone had 30, but Kyrie had 16, Harden had 23, Joe Harris had 21, Timothy Luwawu whatever had 15.
Oh, because he was 5 for 6 from 3, right?
Just ridiculous.
Oh.
Landry Shamet had 10. And then, of course, on our side, Kuzma did his thing. I mean, 16 and 10.
Yeah.
LeBron had 32, 7 and 8. Really carried us in scoring. Him, Kuzma, and Trez were the only ones in double figures, and Trez only had 10. So, I mean, that just goes to show, where can we get this scoring from if it's not from KCP, apparently?
Right.
It's obviously not from Wes Matthews. So, who's it going to come from? It has to come from Kuzma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're a huge Kuzma fan.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm a big fan of him when he's playing with the other guys, right? The thing that makes that team, the Nets, so dangerous is that they can drive and have open shooters. The TLCs of the world, the the Landry Shamits of the world. The reason Landry Shamit played so badly last year on the Clippers is because they put him in and said, go score. Well, what you want from this guy is to make threes. And KCP is his three-point shooter. Wesley Matthews. Dude, remember that play? I don't remember what game it was, but it was like fourth quarter and Wesley Matthews is back to the rim with the ball. Like, why he's a shooter and he should be a shooter. And that's where he's successful. And Kuzma's successful when he can streak and go get rebounds and run the floor, and we don't do any of that this time around, you know?
Yeah. I just see a lot of... It sucks that KCP's not shooting well.
Right. It's so shitty.
Because I always say this to Max, is in the playoffs, he was just dynamite. He was, like, so good, knocking down those open shots. So I don't know if it's a funk or whatever it is, but if we're not going to have AD, I mean, we just need scoring. Like, we have so many guys that aren't pure scorers. Like, Caruso's not a huge scorer. Gasol's not a huge scorer. Like, we need another form of scoring.
Just guys that can go make plays. That's where Rondo was so great. Is like, he didn't score, but he opened up the lane.
Yeah. And then, of course, Schroeder didn't play this game, but he's kind of hit or miss sometimes. I mean, you can see we get really excited about him in that group chat. He'll have like 20 or 22, and in the next game he'll have like 3.
That's not, you can't depend on that. There's no dependence on that to come out every night and do that.
Right. Yeah, and so it's a little concerning as far as like come playoff time. We need some consistency. And then I just read that AD's out another 4 weeks at least.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Dude. So it's going to be a tough stretch coming up here.
How many games do we have in that stretch? And how many losses are we going to have?
I don't know, man.
That's not good.
At least like 15 probably. So we'll see. And that, guess what? That just means more minutes for LeBron, which we don't want. But yeah, so kind of an expected loss as far as just like feeling it out, no AD. Plus the Nets just shot lights out. But let's move on to the Saturday game, which the Heat, I mean, it's a finals rematch, but the Heat are 13-17 this year. So not the same Heat team that we know from the finals, but they still beat us 96-94. Jimmy Butler 24 points, 8 rebounds. Bam Adebayo 16-10. Kendrick Nunn 27-5.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Duncan Robinson 11-10. On the Lakers side, kind of distributed. LeBron only had 19. Kind of an off night. I'm pretty sure he shot like really poorly. Almost had a triple-double though, which is crazy that he's able to do that. But Kuzma, good game from Kuzma. One of his higher scoring games, 23-4. Trez had a double-double, 18-10, which I like to see. I think those should be his numbers consistently. I expect that from him. Of course, no Schroeder again. KCP 11. So it's shooting a little bit better. Wesley Matthews 10-8, which is what I like to see.
8 rebounds, wow.
Yep. He was playing good D on Jimmy Butler and stuff. And did anything stick out to you in this game?
No, just another one of those it's gonna be the broken record, man. I mean, we're depending on the same guys, and Kuzma's gonna go score, and that's awesome. But he's not gonna create shots for the KCPs. They're not gonna double. They're not gonna. There's not gonna be any moving. And the thing that was so great in my head about last year was that we had these guys who when we drove, we'd drive and free up the big man and dump it off to Dwight, and Dwight would lay up or foul or something. But that's on our side, and whoever's cleaning up the lane isn't isn't cleaning up when Kuzma's driving. So
Right.
it's not like total offense. The offense isn't there.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we talk about is the difference between like a guy like Trez and a guy like Dwight. And that trade-off, I mean, it's not a direct trade-off, like they didn't switch teams or anything, but like Trez is significantly smaller than Dwight, or JaVale for that matter. And he does have trouble holding his own against like strong big centers. You talk about a guy like Bam. I mean, it's a decent matchup, but that's like the line. It's like Bam is about the smallest guy that Trez can handle, and and Gasol's not going to be able to handle Bam Adebayo. You know, he can handle other guys that are like big and slow, like Valanciunas or random guys like that. But what do we like? I know you just kind of explained it, but like, what do we miss from a guy like Dwight or JaVale? Like just rim protection.
It's just like there's so much that goes into having a big guy that you can depend on, like just to take fouls, you know? Like Gasol gets in there and gets fouled, but still stands on the 3-point line. And, you know, big guys at some level, especially at this point of our game, it's like big guys are kind of in there as just foul, like absorbers, and they just foul, and that's going to happen. And Dwight would do that a lot. You know, Dwight fouled out so many times last year. But he would go in and score 2 points but have 11 rebounds and clean up the glass. I mean, I saw some stat that said the other, like, Lakers last year points in the paint defense was first or second, and then I don't know the number this year, but I know it's not even close to what it was last year.
Yeah. And I think our blocks were up significantly too. Just like having a guy that can jump out of the gym, like Trez jumps really high, but he's not like necessarily like a rim protector like JaVale and Dwight are.
Right.
Like sending it to the third row sort of defense. And another good point is like we have our bigs are Gasol and Montrez, and they're not interchangeable in the way that Dwight and JaVale kind of were, right? So if one of them gets 3 fouls, you can just throw the other one in, and it's pretty much the same thing. Last year. But this year, it's a completely different set of players. Like, if you have Gasol in there and he gets 3 fouls, Trez is an entirely different player. So, our versatility and our ability to, like, you know, protect the rim is just, it's lacking. And I think we need a big man before the trade deadline, potentially. I know they were talking about Drummond, which I like.
Yeah. They're talking about Boogie, too. Rockets just wait Boogie.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, man. I feel like he's a little, he could be trouble. I don't know how our relationship is with him after last year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the media last year was like, oh, everything's all right? But I think, you know, he's not the end-all, be-all. I was just thinking about this. He's not the end-all, be-all, like, thing that we need. What we need is a Dwight Howard. But would you rather have Marc Gasol or Boogie Cousins? And they both play the same exact way. They're both going to absorb fouls. They're both going to, you know, not play the best defense, but at least you have Boogie Cousins, who's, I have no idea how old he is, but I know he's younger than Marc Gasol.
Yeah. I mean, he's, even him, like, coming off 2 surgeries, I'd rather have than Marc Gasol. Just historically, like, Mark just looks so, like, slow and just not. He kind of looks like if the coach would play with the kids at practice. That's what it looks like.
Like the NJB team, and the coach is okay, I'll let you guys finish these layup sort lines. Thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if Pelinka wants to do anything with the team before it's too late this year.
Do you think we make a move?
I would like to see it. I think the AD injury plays a big part in it.
Right.
Just depending on how long he's out and how many games we lose in the next couple of weeks, they might like be knocking on the door being like, all right, Robbie, we need some help here.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? I mean, I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to come to play with the Lakers. I don't know why Dwight left. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I felt like it was just. I felt like the Lakers chose Trez over Dwight. And I mean, remember how it was? It was like Dwight tweeted, and then the Lakers signed Trez, and it was like okay, and then Dwight deleted the tweet. Like I felt like there was some sort of miscommunication there, and I don't feel like it was on Dwight. I feel like it was more on us.
Yeah, I don't think that played out entirely too well, but you know, we got other assets, like we got Schroeder and stuff, so
right.
I don't know. But yeah, so that's kind of our week. We went 1-2. Not really impressed with that. I'm hoping, you know, in the future it's different, obviously, but let's look forward to next week. And of course, tonight in the next 40 minutes, we have a game against the Wizards. But let me just look down the line a little bit here. Today, it's a 4-game week, which is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Monday, today, Wizards at 7. Big game on Wednesday versus the Jazz. Number 1 team in the league, I think, as far as record goes. And then Trailblazers on Friday, the Trailblazers are always hit or miss. And then Sunday we have the Warriors, which who knows with them too.
We lost to that. We lost to both of those teams this year.
Yeah. So let's start with tonight's game. You have Westbrook, you have Bradley Beal. Kind of a weird team. I mean, they they beat the Rockets, his old team, Westbrook's old team. There's no doubt that Beal and Westbrook are amazing players, but their team is bad as a whole.
Isn't that weird though? I feel like they were pretty good. I mean, good-ish last year in the bubble, and then they got 2 better players.
Yeah, that is weird. Beal didn't even play with them in the bubble, and they played decently. It might have just been like a motivation thing, and now that they're back, it's like the chemistry's all messed up.
I bet. Yeah.
And they have their own like inner problems, like Beal's being held hostage there, kind of. But yeah.
Do you think Bradley Beal stays as a Wizard this whole year?
Max and I talk about that sometimes. Max loves Beal.
Yeah, he loves him.
He thinks he deserves better, like a playoff team. He literally thinks that the Wizards are ruining his career by holding him there. And apparently he wants to stay. Like that's what it says in the news. But I can't imagine he wants to stay on a losing team. And then you always see like highlights of him with like his hands in his face, like. Because they'll score like 50 and they'll lose by 2 points like 4 times in a row. It's like, what else can I do here?
So bad. About the game tonight, like I'm nervous. You know, there's no easy win.
Yeah.
Like even the wins that we've had in the last month have not been, other than that Denver game, the one where we kind of turned on in this third quarter. I didn't like the overtime. I didn't feel good about those games. There's no like confidence right now for this team.
Right. Yeah, especially a game where like against the Thunder where you're going overtime, where their best player is Al Horford.
And he has like 12. He has 12 points or something at that point in the game.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel good that we're playing a guy like Bradley Beal that can easily drop 50. Like, you're right. I don't have the confidence in us right now to be like, oh, Wizards, no problem. Mm-hmm. They have a shitty record. Like, they're not a good team.
You know, something we gave up last year with getting rid of Danny Green, even though, you know, all Lakers fans are not fans of him. He was a big guy, and he could guard. He's, 6'7", 6'8"? He could stand in front of Bradley Beal and slow him down. But who's going to guard him tonight? KCP, 6'4". You have Matthews, who's also 6'4". We gave up a lot when in the defensive category, losing Danny Green as a wing defender.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to say. You can say anything you want about Danny Green, but he is a good defender. And this is something I forgot. I just forgot to bring up about the Heat game. I don't know if you saw at the end, but that last play where Caruso kind of just like skimmed the rim.
Yeah, no good.
I just want to backtrack a little bit. Okay, let me play out the situation. So, you're LeBron. You've hit countless game winners. You get doubled with 3-4 seconds, like 20 feet away from the hoop, right outside the 3-point line. And you have Caruso wide open. Is that the pass you want to make?
I've never been in LeBron's shoes. It's hard to think that way, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking like the shot that Caruso shot was like very similar to what I assumed, or what I felt when Danny Green missed that 3 in the finals. Where it just wasn't even close. Like there was no chance it was going to go in. He's just not a shooter. And then if you put a non-shooter in that situation, like for a game winner, I just don't think it's going to work out. But kudos to the Heat for that double. Like, they put LeBron in a hard spot. But even then, like, you just got to make it work as LeBron, I think.
Yeah, it's got to be like more the eject button, not plan B. And he passed it as if it was kind of plan B, but he's got to be more confident in himself.
I don't think anyone's going to be mad that he didn't pass the ball to Caruso, right? If he takes like a little bit worse shot. And of course his clutch gene is nowhere near Kobe's, but he's still clutch. Like, we all know that.
He's made maybe not as many buzzer beaters, but he's made so many last 2 minutes shots that...
Yeah.
And
I feel confident that he will at least get it closer than a skim off the rim wide open. But anyways, yeah, so prediction, win or loss?
It's going to be a close one, like that Minnesota game. It's going to be, I think it'll be a win, but there's going to be some star that I'm nervous about. Not Westbrook, not Beal, but someone else is going to step up. Like Thomas Bryant, I feel like he's going to have like 25 and 12 and like 15.
A revenge game?
It's just, why do we let these people have these kinds of games?
Yeah, Max and I always say that. You always get like these random players, like Jeremy Grant has 45 against, or it was Josh Jackson on the Pistons.
It's just
30 on us.
Why?
It's just they want to beat it's not a primetime game, but it gets the most attention.
Yeah.
And they want to beat LeBron. It's like all these young guys, they just get on the scene and they're like I don't know if you saw the Anthony Edwards from the Timberwolves. He hit a 3 on LeBron and he started smiling. And they were losing at that point. And it's like he's just so excited to be there. He's playing his heart out.
Well, and wasn't he like 2 years old when LeBron got drafted or something?
Yeah.
Like he grew up
crazy
with LeBron being in the NBA.
Yeah.
And here he is making a 3 against him. It's crazy.
Yeah. So there's a lot of factors that I think normal teams don't really experience, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So what do you think? A win? I'm thinking a win.
Let me see if there's any news on it. Like, yeah, there's no special news. 2 Wizards players are out. I don't know who they are. It's loading. Wait, what? Thomas Bryant is out.
Oh.
And Ish Smith.
Yeah, okay.
But Westbrook and Beal are good to go, so who knows?
What's our starting 5 look like these days?
Theirs or ours?
Theirs.
Jeez. Just look at the last one.
Yeah, that's...
it's not... well, they have that guy Hachimura.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he'll have 20.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. So last game they started... They beat the Trailblazers. Westbrook and Beal both coming off great games. Westbrook had a triple-double, and Beal had 37. So,
oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, you'll love this. They start Beal, Westbrook, Hachimura, this guy named Garrison Matthews.
Okay.
And at center, they start Mo Wagner.
Isn't Hachimura like a proper center too?
I don't know. But
I thought he was like 6'11".
Isn't it funny how Mo Wagner is just former Laker, didn't play at all for us. Now he's starting for the Wizards. Like,
how many people in the last 6 years are on the Wizards from the Lakers? So many.
I don't know, but there's guys like just random names like Thomas Bryant, Isaac Bonga.
Yeah, see?
He plays a little bit. And then like on the Pistons, like Svi Mikhailuk, like the third day from when he leaves the team, he has 35.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, how is that possible?
So bad.
But yeah, I think I kind of agree with you. I think we squeak it out at the end there. Unfortunately, it's going to be like another LeBron 40-minute night.
Yeah.
He picks it up in the fourth quarter, and then we squeak it out. But that's just wishful thinking. And then big game on Wednesday. Lakers Jazz. Jazz are hot.
What, 11 in a row, 12 in a row or something?
No, they just lost to the Clippers.
Oh, okay.
On Friday, back-to-back, so they lost by 4. But other than that, yeah, I think it was 11 in a row. What sticks out to you? I mean, it just seems like they play great team basketball. Like, they have those Euro guys that just love to pass and shoot.
They can shoot, and I think that's their... I mean, they can shoot. It'd be like that Houston Rockets team a few years ago, that everybody can shoot, and then a better rim protector than Clint Capella. You know, they shoot, but then they got these guys who... I mean, dude, Donovan Mitchell is so good at shooting threes.
Yeah.
You would think that, like, one of them could have a night off, but they're always on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're always on.
Yeah, that's another point, is just the threat of having guys, like four guys on the court that can make a three makes the game so much different.
Right.
Whereas, like, if LeBron drives and kicks to Trez or like Caruso or THT, like, they're not scared. No one's scared. And then another guy, I mean, off the bench, Clarkson, man.
Oh.
Like,
what is he averaging? 19 this year? 19
Can we have
points?
him back?
Yeah.
Please. Just another example of a guy that got better after he left the Lakers. I mean, he had 40 against the Sixers on February 15th.
Oh
40.
My gosh. 40?
And he plays 40 points in 29 minutes.
Dude, he is unstoppable. And, I mean, it was a good trade because it cleared up cap space for LeBron, but...
Yeah.
Like, once again, like, these guys are scary, man. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not super scared of the Jazz as a team, but because they haven't proved anything. Yeah. But they're streaky, and if they get streaky against the Lakers, just like the way that the Nets we could have won that game if they didn't make all those threes. But it's easy to say that. But if they get streaky, there's no chance. There's just no chance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at this roster here, and you have like Bojan Bogdanovic and Joe Ingles are like pretty much the same player, honestly.
What are they shooting? And what's their shooting percentage from three, both of them, this year?
Bogey is 40%.
Dude.
And I think Ingles might be a little worse, but no, he's actually better at 45%.
40, dude. So almost every other three shoots he makes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane. I can't believe you have someone like that.
Yeah, that's why I always ask Max is where can we get that guy that's just, you pass him the ball, and obviously like Joe Ingles is 45%, which is, he's going to miss half the shots he takes, more than half. But when you pass it to him, it feels like he's going to make it. Right?
Yeah.
We don't have that guy. Another name, JJ Redick. A guy like Doug McDermott. Just guys that, like, when you pass them the ball, you're like, that's going in. And if it doesn't, then it's weird, right? Like, you don't have that guy.
Yeah, the guy who the other team passes it to them, and if you're a fan of the other team, you're like,
yeah,
really,
exactly.
here we go.
Yeah, like, how can you leave that guy open, sort of thing.
Yeah.
We just don't have that.
We don't.
It was supposed to be Wesley Matthews. That fell through, as far as I'm concerned.
And what's KCP doing? Twiddling his thumbs, dude?
I don't know.
He came together in the playoffs last year, but we were talking smack on him last year, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to get it figured out. And his shots come pretty easy sometimes, where he, especially in the corner, like, LeBron will just get him a wide open three, and he just can't put it down. And it's like, it's not like he's not open. It's not like he's taking bad shots. It's just execution is not there right now for KCP. But I'm going with loss.
Yeah, me too.
I can't see us winning this game.
Do you see us like kind of getting our ass whooped?
I don't know. I mean, the Jazz have handled themselves well against star players, defensively. So I just can't see a way. Like, we're gonna be at a disadvantage the whole game. Like, we're gonna have to hit our threes, free throws, limit the turnovers. More things have to go right for us than them, which is not good, I guess. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think we're down big in the fourth, and then we claw back, but we just can't get it done. That's kind of my thought process.
I like that.
But we will wait and see. But let's move on to the Trailblazers Friday. Now, keep in mind, I've said this before, Lakers do not a good job, but they're consistently, they're notorious for, like, winning a couple games in a row, and then they get cocky, and then they lose to a bad team. Or, like, they'll kick themselves in the butt. Like, if they have a bad loss, they'll come out the next game, like, just absolutely fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
So keep in mind that for the Trailblazers game. Like, hopefully that happens. I'm not sure. But I think Damian Lillard is... No, McCollum is hurt. So that's something to think about.
Dude, Dame is one of those guys where he just chooses. He just chooses if he wants to come out, and he's in a system that's this like B-rated team that doesn't really focus on basketball. Like the Trailblazers, dude. If Terry Stotts was the coach of the Lakers, he would have been gone so long ago. I think he's behind Rick Carlisle. I think he's the second most tenured coach. And what has he won? He has these great players, and I think Dame's about to absolutely come out. Remember, Dame came out last year and dropped 40 something on Kobe night. Yeah, like he could turn it on, and I feel like the Lakers are always a team he always wants to turn it on against. Yeah, I'm nervous. Another game I'm nervous about.
Personally, I think I'm less nervous for this game than I am even the Wizards game, honestly. Just because we know the Blazers pretty well. Like, we handled them in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that was with one of the other best top 5 players in the league.
True. Yeah, I mean, I keep forgetting AD's not playing, but I just think, like, we're going to lose to the Jazz, and then they're going to come out and be like, we just have to destroy the Trailblazers.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Are either of those games nationally televised? I feel like we
sure well, Wednesday is against the Jazz is on ESPN, and I'm sure Friday. Yeah, they're both on ESPN.
Yeah, some of those, like, Dame really is really big on playing nationally televised games.
Yeah, he's just, man. If he gets going, it's Curry-esque.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna say win. What do you? I mean, you got to make a prediction.
Yeah. I'll go with a win. Not gonna be pretty, but it'll be a win.
Yeah. speaking of Curry, Sunday, February 28th. Lakers, Warriors.
In LA?
Yes.
Okay.
Not on national TV for some reason. But Warriors, kind of sketchy. I mean, they're not a great team right now.
They're in the 8 seed.
They're in the 8 seed. Curry has had some crazy games this season, as he always does. Draymond's back, but he's kind of a shell of his former self. I think the two kind of catalysts to our success are Oubre and Andrew Wiggins. If they get going, it's an issue if Curry's playing well.
Right. Yeah, they're scared. They're like not scary, but scary. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like even that whole game we played against them like a month ago, I wasn't scared at all. And I swear they just changed the points. Like I feel like they didn't score that much, but they ended up coming back and winning.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot with the games recently. It's like I'll watch the game and it looks like we're playing well, but we're down like 8 or 9 the whole game.
Yeah, if you don't look at the score, you're like, we're playing really well.
Yeah.
So weird.
It's weird. And I don't know if it's free throws or just it's probably like the lack of AD. It's probably like I'm seeing LeBron do like a third of what him and AD do together, and then that other 25% is just not there. You know, it's like, oh, LeBron's playing so well, but we're still down 8. You know,
dude, AD's such a silent scorer. Like I feel like so often it'll be, and AD's our leading scorer at halftime with 19 points, and I can barely remember him making a layup. Like that's the only thing.
It's those elbow jumpers, dude.
Dude, oh my! I'm nervous about that game too. I think we're gonna go 2-2 this week. I don't know which game we're gonna lose between the Blazers and the Warriors, but I think we're gonna lose one of those. One of them we're gonna come up flat-footed.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I don't know. Yeah, I'll pick the Warriors, honestly. Yeah, so I say we beat the Wizards tonight, lose to the Jazz, beat the Trailblazers, lose to the Warriors.
I like it. That's where I'm at. Well, I mean, I don't like it, but
yeah,
I agree.
We hope that we're wrong.
Yeah.
And then Max and I like to do like a hot take as far as like players that you think are gonna go, like do something special. So like, I'll do one. I think Kuzma has 25 against the Trailblazers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I like that. But I think with Kuzma, it always comes to matchups. There's teams who have people who can guard him, and he's like so lackluster. And then other teams don't have the size or the one person they have that's that size they put on LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kuzma, there's no one on the Blazers. They got short guys and tall guys, and that's it.
Yeah, I guess it would be like Carmelo, but
yeah.
I think Kuzma could handle that one.
I like that. Dude, I'm feeling like I need to see. I'm feeling like Caruso's going to come out big, and I think he's going to come out big against the Jazz.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the game last year where AD shot a fading away, and Dwight was going to go get the rebound, and Caruso came and like got the offensive glass and slammed it from the baseline. I thought that was in Denver though. That wasn't in.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that game's going to be a lot closer than. I bet the Jazz are favored, and I bet they're probably favored by like 7 or 8. I think that game's going to be. I'll take the under on that or the over.
Yeah.
I think because a lot of these players that. Because I don't know if the Jazz play good defense. I don't feel like they do, and I think Caruso's going to come out hot.
I could see that. Yeah, Caruso does like to step up in big games.
I'll give Caruso 15 7 rebounds, 3 for 4 from 3.
Wow. That's a hot take. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming.
Cool. So 2-2. We don't love it. I'll text Max and get his prediction. We'll see what he has to say. But this is the part of the segment where I like to throw out some random around the news info. Just kind of get your quick reaction. So
should be fun.
Let me throw this at you. Well, you already hit one of them. Was my DeMarcus Cousins, but here's another one. Jamal Murray drops 50 without a free throw.
What was he? 11 for 12 from 3?
I don't know. I didn't watch the game, but I was telling Max, I think the first time when we blew out the Nuggets, he played awful. He had like 14 points. Second game when we lost, he had like 25. There's a good chance we see the Nuggets in the playoffs if we drop to like a 2-3 or like a 3-4 seed.
Right. That 4 or the Suns have kind of taken a little bit more of a commanding lead into 4th place, but that 5, 6, 7, 8, and remember 9 and 10 are still in play this year.
Yeah.
Like all of those teams are not that good, but they're all right in there, right?
Yeah.
Those teams are scary too, you know. The Wizards, or I mean, you know, Lakers would probably beat these teams in a 7-game series, like the Warriors, the Mavericks, but
yeah,
still scary, you know.
Yeah. Super random. Allegedly, Pau Gasol denies reports of a deal with FC Barcelona.
Doesn't matter. Hey, doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I guess the question is, hey man, if you want to play basketball, come take your brother's spot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, at least he'll take a charge, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't even know how old Pau is.
I think he's 40, 41. Brady's 41.
He's 40.
Hey, Brady's 41, and Brady won a championship, so.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I just would rather have Pau than, Mark.
Dude, I still can't stop thinking about it, though. Like, would you rather have Boogie Cousins, who does the same exact thing as Marcus Gasol, or have Marcus Gasol?
Well, let's click on that. I'm going to click on that link real quick and see if there's any speculation. No, it doesn't say where he might go. So I don't know.
Well, the good thing about him is that the Rockets guaranteed his contract this year, so the Lakers wouldn't have to pay, like they're already hard capped, but they could pay him to be on the team still because his contract is already guaranteed with the Rockets.
Yeah,
which allows him to come. The issue that the Lakers have right now is if they were to trade for anybody, they have to trade for the same price point that they... Like, that's the whole deal with this PJ Tucker conversation. Mm-hmm. You know, the people are talking about trading for PJ Tucker, but he's $8 million? That's more than Gasol and Matthews and THT combined. Like, and that would probably be the package.
Yeah. No, that's true. I wanted to get your thoughts on, first of all, the All-Star lineups, but also, do you think Caruso gets upset that he's kind of like a meme in the the polls? Because he's it's weird because he's actually a good player, like a good role player, but clearly he's not good enough to be an All-Star, but people still vote for him. I
think if I was Caruso, I wouldn't care if I was on the Lakers. But if I was on a team like the Wizards and I was just a meme and we were still losing every game, I'd feel like shit. But Caruso's still a team. Caruso's one of those guys that's just a team player, and he's always kind of going to be a team player. I don't see him going to a team and being the 6th man of the year or pure scorer or anything. But right now, I don't see him being mad. But I mean, if it's like 6 years from now and he's 31 and he's still getting the same amount of votes, and he's like, why aren't they letting me be an all-star?
Yeah.
Because I don't really understand it. Why isn't he? Because I thought it was all voting, right?
No, I think it's actually like our like democratic system of government. It's like the people vote, but if the league doesn't agree with it, then they can't do it, which is weird.
That is a little weird.
But it kind of makes sense. Like if someone was like such a meme, like, you know, like Taco Fall or like these random players that are just like internet famous.
Brian Scalabrine.
Exactly. I was actually going to bring that up. What you were saying about Caruso is kind of like that Scalabrine interview when they were like making fun of him when he won a championship. He's like, I'm still going to go home to my kids in 10 years and say, I'm a champion. In 20 years, I'll probably tell them I started. In 30 years, I'll tell them that I was the MVP. He like just doesn't care about how much he played or didn't play.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's my final thought for you. On the basis of people getting better when they leave the Lakers, let me just throw this stat line out there.
There we
go. Lonzo Ball, 14 career high in points in his fourth season.
Like average, he's averaging 14?
At 14.3. Assists are down. Rebounds are down, but his 3-point percentage better than it's ever been at 39.
Wow, 39?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talk about a guy who I had absolutely no confidence in making a three.
Yeah.
39%, that's admirable.
I mean, he's playing better. Do you think it's in part due to like he's just out of the spotlight sort of thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's one of those guys that needs a system. He needs a specific system, and I can never remember which one, Stan or Jeff. Jeff Van Gundy? No, Stan Van Gundy is his coach now. Yeah. He's an all offense kind of coach, and he wouldn't have fit in with Vogel because Vogel would have been focusing on defense. And I mean, hey, that sucks, but hey, do we have any point guards who can create anything right now? Not really. So
yeah,
that sucks to hear. That's good for him though. I mean, I always felt nervous about him being in the limelight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just played a big, like his dad, like his brother LaMelo is like seems like the kind of guy that could have handled LA better than Lonzo did. I
like that. Yeah, I agree.
He just seems more like confident, like he has no inhibition in his game.
Dude, he's kind of balling too.
Yeah, Max and I talk about him a lot. He's good.
He is good. Yeah. Talk about another team that's not in the limelight.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have, except wanted to throw this out there. Guess who Lonzo's teammate is that played for the Lakers? His name's Brandon Ingram. His numbers are very similar to last year when he was on the Pelicans, but a 6-point jump in points, a 1 rebound more, 2 assists more.
6 points? What does that put him at, like 27?
No, he only averaged 18.3 for the Lakers.
Well, but then he averaged last year like.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's the same.
Oh, I see.
So he's at 24 right now.
Wow.
But that's a lot of points. So
how many minutes is he playing?
He played between 2018 and 2019 when he switched. He was playing 34 minutes both seasons. So the minutes were exactly the same. This year he's playing 35, but
yeah. Talk about a guy who can ball, man. That guy can just ball.
Yeah, I think he's gonna make the All-Star reserve or the bench for sure.
Yeah, good for him. 2 in a row. Another guy, Julius Randle. Dude, what is he? I think he's averaging 20, 10, and 5 this year.
Something like that.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, he wait, why? I can't remember why he went to the Pelicans.
Oh yeah, no, I think he was a free agent and we didn't sign him.
Oh, 23, 11, and 6.
Dude.
Just all-star numbers.
Would you rather have Julius Randle or Montrezl Harrell on your team?
Right now, I'd rather have Julius Randle.
Those are some good numbers.
Dude, it's like we develop these players and then they grow up, like they graduate from the Lakers and then they blossom on their other teams.
Yeah, it's like you have high school, college, Lakers, and then and then you're in the league.
You know what the problem was? It was probably all those bad years we had. We got all those early picks, and then we had to get rid of those players to get LeBron and AD.
Right. Those are good players. I mean, Ingram was second or third? Lonzo was second. Randall, I think, was like 7.
Yeah, he was 7. D'Angelo Russell was 2.
Oh my gosh, him too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So just all these guys.
Dude, we traded D'Angelo Russell for Brook Lopez.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, D'Angelo Russell now is pretty trash, but...
For sure. Yeah.
First year he was in Brooklyn, he was pretty damn good.
Oh, man. Laker graduation, man.
I will give credit to teams like the Clippers and the Warriors especially. They do a good job of like keeping their team like through really bad seasons.
Yeah, how long has Lou Will been on their team?
Yeah, well then, yeah. He's a guy we could use. Him and Clarkson are really similar to me, where it's like they could easily be the leading scorer of any game.
Yeah. Except
they come off the bench.
Oh yeah, Clarkson, another Laker.
Just amazing.
Oh, like 40? What do you have, 40 the other night?
But there is something to be said about, like, they play... A lot of those guys play in the shadows. I mean, Clarkson was in Kobe's shadow.
Yeah.
For his rookie year. Kuzma, that one year where Kuzma and Lonzo, it was just them pretty much. Like, that was their year to... Obviously, Kuzma shined over Lonzo.
Yeah.
But Lonzo left, and now Kuzma has to deal with LeBron and AD overshadowing him, and that creates more problems. So, I think we see our best Laker teams when we get guys that don't expect anything, kind of like Caruso and THT.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. We got to go watch this game right now. So
yeah, what's up with them starting games? They say it starts at 7, but it literally starts at 7:20.
I think it's like anything else. It's like we get you to tune in so you can sit and watch Spectrum commercials for 20 minutes.
I'm cool with watching James Worthy stand up and not sit down.
Yeah, why does he do that, man?
Dude, he's just standing the whole time.
Especially at the end of the games, it's like, sit down, dude. It's fine.
And it's so weird because Derek Fisher or Robert Orr are always sitting.
Yeah. I always wonder, like, what do they do during the game? Do they just watch it?
Yeah, do they talk? Like, do they talk about it?
Yeah, I don't really know. I feel like they kind of watch passively and then they talk about, like, their lives together.
I don't know. You can't do that for 72 games.
I don't know. Hopefully they're good friends. I probably bet that Robert and D Fish are really good friends, but
yeah, they're boys for sure. Yeah,
Worthy's kind of old. But yeah, anyways, guys, Tyler, thank you for being a guest on the show. It was a pleasure to have you.
Looking forward to the next one. That was fun.
Yeah. Hopefully next time we can get all three of us, Max, get back on here and we can do like a three-way interview. But yeah, guys, make sure you go check out the Twitter, which is kind of run by Max. It is Lens Lakers. The Instagram is Lakers Lens Podcast. Check it out on Spotify, Lakers Lens Podcast, YouTube. Leave some comments, anything you disagree with, anything you liked about it, opinions. But yeah, anything else you want to say, Tyler?
Let's prove 2-2 wrong, right? Let's win some games.
Exactly. Yeah, that's always the goal. Unless we predict 4-0, which I don't know if we have. I think we've done 3-0, but
yeah,
we always want to be wrong on those predictions. So
yeah, go team.
Let's take on the Wizards tonight, and guys, we will talk to you next week. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace.
See ya.